All right, welcome back to another episode of Long Time Good Time. I am Terry. I'm the good time of the group.
And I am Abrisha. I am the long time of the group.
All right, so today, getting into the relationship topics. And I'll be honest, this some of this stuff came up if people don't watch Club Shay Shay. But Club Shay Shay was with Poor Minds this week, and that was a great interview, I think. But honestly, it did give me a little bit more perspective on some of the dating topics that I hear about. But I think they did a good job of explaining their side a little bit better than I've heard before. But anyway, it did get my mind to thinking. So, because this has been a big debate, I think ever since I started, I guess being of dating age, which is,
Hmm.
do you date or should you date or talk to somebody, one of your friends' ex? And that means something different, I think, in high school than it does now. But
Right.
what are your thoughts on that? Have they changed over time?
I guess so. My thoughts when I was younger. I mean, I guess I kind of, sort of still have this thought, but not fully in the capacity I did when I was younger. When I was younger, I did not care. I was like, the person wasn't a match for me. Doesn't mean it's not going to be a match for you. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not with him no more. So, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
that was my thought as a younger person. But obviously, now having deeper relationships with friends that are in anywhere between 15 and 20 plus years of friendship. Nah, I think that's just there's enough people on earth that you don't have to do that. If it were to happen and they were to, ask my blessing, I'll still feel away, and I feel like I wouldn't necessarily hate them, but as far as like communicating, they would need to know and understand that I'm gonna be like, sure, but that means that I'm the picture. Like, I'm not gonna be there to witness that. You know what I mean? So if you think that that relationship is viable enough for you to lose not necessarily lose, but like while y'all are at that, having me out of the picture, by all means, y'all grown, but I'm not gonna sit and watch it. Not
So
with the friends I have now. We've been friends for way too long.
so you basically saying it's me or them if it was to happen.
I mean, yeah, but it's not like a permanent thing. Just know that while y'all are dealing, I, there's no me involved. Now y'all break up, and you know, one of my homegirl specifically. Okay, I might, we could kind of rekindle a friendship or something like that. But like, I don't know. I'm on the fence because I don't know. I'm a very gracious person, so I'm not a traditional person who's like, I'm not overly jealous, and I'm not one of those people who feels like I have ownership of my partner. I don't, I just there's
Yeah.
certain things that are pretty normal, that has been normalized for dating culture, that I just don't fit in the boxes for. The jealousy things, for sure being normalized, and like feeling like you own like a person, not own, but you know what I'm trying to say, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
territorialness of exes and all of that. That's normalized. It's not my thing. I ain't worried about
Yeah.
nobody down here but me. I'm not worried about nobody down here but me. So,
I'm with you. Um, I'm with you on the fact that it was different back then. Because yeah, honestly, back then I didn't care. I wouldn't say I didn't care, but I didn't care that much because, and you said exactly what they were saying too, which is that it's enough people, it's so many people in the world, which I honestly never thought of it like that. I just, to me, like that don't really mean anything. It's about who you connect with. But I guess in high school or like junior high, whatever, we really did make the world just what was around us. And so when I was young, I'm like, it ain't that many girls. I mean, it's a lot of girls in the school, but it ain't that many. Like, I
Right.
mean, I ain't
At some
saying we.
point, there's gonna be some lines crossed. I mean,
Yeah,
even in college, I felt like it was more forgiving as far as Terry and I went to a PWI, predominantly white institution, and so the black population was very small. So it was kind of common, not like on purpose, but for friends to have maybe common flings because it was
hmm,
just not that many black people on campus, and most of us liked other black people. So I
yeah,
have several girlfriends who might have a common fling or even talking stage. I won't say flings, it's not like everybody just sleeping around, but
yeah,
common talking stages are with people because there just wasn't that many people on campus who were black, and we all wanted to date, our own people. So, but yeah, in
and I,
adulthood, yeah, nah, like as big grown adults, I'm gonna be looking at you a little weird. And yeah,
I get that. I agree, and I don't know. I'm in the middle on that because yeah, we always see it's plenty
it's
of.
not necessarily that there's an issue innately. It's more of the curiosity of it's a trust thing, because when at what point did you start finding this person interesting? And if you want to lie to me and tell me that it was after me and this person parted ways, you're crazy. It's more so of knowing that you probably have had these feelings or
Yeah,
interests since I was in the relationship with the person. And that's the trust thing that's going to make people leery and look at you sideways. I
yeah,
had one friend who had a medical issue. Unfortunately, she passed away, and her husband ended up marrying her best friend. Do you don't think me, her friends, and the rest of the family was looking at that nigga sideways? That's weird. And
well,
you hear the go ahead.
no, I was gonna say uh that I think is the root that I was gonna get to. I guess what I was saying earlier is that is more so the conversation than the number of people. I'm like, the number of people don't really matter because we always say it's plenty of fish in the sea and all that, but the truth is the connection is about the connection. It ain't about like the number of people. And some people feel different. Some people feel they have a ultimate one divine connection. Some people feel there's millions of connections out there. It's just your own philosophy. But I think people
Right.
use that as an excuse. Like you said, the real issue at the heart of this is the trust. It's like, when did y'all start liking each other? XYZ. And I don't know, man. It's tough. It's funny because I was like, hey, let's think about this and talk about it on the pod. And I did not really come up with my own answer because I don't know. Like, to me, I think dating to me is more okay than like just having sex. That would feel more disrespectful to me if it was like, oh yeah, I just smashed your ex. Like, it ain't no thing. It was just a hookup.
Yeah,
That would
because
feel
it's just
disrespectful to me.
it's a break of trust. It's like, especially because, like I said, we're talking from the gaze of like, we have, or at least I have very long standing friendships. All of my friends that are my friends now have been my friends for 15 plus years. So it's a trust thing. I don't, because I do know people who have friend groups, and it's like, oh, these are just people I party with. They're not even close like that. You know what I mean? Or they have these little pods of friends, and there's not like these
Mhm.
like deep interwoven connections. So they might not feel the way that I feel because their connections to people are very transactional, or for the moment. Oh, I just hang out with these people when I'm golfing, and I hang out with these people when I'm
Yeah,
clubbing, and and it's not what I have. All of my connections are these very deep,
like
woven,
family.
interwoven family uh,
Yeah,
friendships. So with that being said, yeah, my viewpoint on that is that's breaking my trust completely. That's damn near like a sister doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
nah, I can't ride with that. No.
Yeah, I think I'm a little different than the average, but I I see a scenario where I would be okay with it, and I think most people is like, hell no, never, no way, no how. But I do think I see one scenario where I might be okay with it, but overall, I do agree. Like it's a trust thing. I just never felt like, oh my God, how could you find my girlfriend attractive, or how could you think she's a cool person? Like
Yeah, the
I
attraction
do.
and thinking
I
somebody is
would,
cool is I don't have a problem with that because
yeah,
obviously if me and you were attracted to each other, we're similar in regards to the type of people we like to be around, probably. You know what I mean? So thinking that my friends are like nice looking, okay, yeah, sure, because birds of a feather flock together. A lot of times people who have same energies or stuff like that, you mingle
yeah,
together. So all people want their partners to be able to mesh with the friend group, and so the whole hopes is that we are genuinely in like with each other as far as like so that part like doesn't bother me. Like I said, it's just the whole knowing that most female-based friend groups, we talk intimately about our situations and stuff like that.
hmm,
Maybe not to everybody, but all of us have like, 2 to 3 key people that we can process stuff with. So many intimate details about me and whatever this boyfriend or girlfriend situation is. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
then like you heard my yays, you heard my nays, and all of this stuff, and he's somewhere in
It's
there.
like, are you
Like,
plotting? Yeah, it makes you
you know what I mean?
second
It's just
guess.
it just
Yeah,
don't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all.
I
And
think
so,
there's just that feeling of it just creates unnecessary discomfort. So it's like you should just avoid that anyway. If you my real friend or whatever, you wouldn't even want to put us through that. That's how some people look at it. But I think the one scenario, like I said, for me, because I've always struggled with that, because when the way you see it on TV and everything, I'm like, but it doesn't make sense to me. If I like this person, I think they dope, and you think they dope, and we get along, it would make like somebody be like, oh, well, you looking at my girl? Like, if you think she bad, then other people probably think she bad. Like, I don't like. It's always that weird thing
right,
where like you see dudes be like, um, they want their girl to look like fine, so everybody be like, oh dang, that's your girl, but don't look too much. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like,
right. Or you
you,
even see girls joking online. I've seen this on both actually, where it says, you get a new boyfriend and you realize you picked the wrong one. You're gonna go meet his friends, and all his friends finer than him. Like
oh
he
yeah, I
not
seen that
he's
joke.
fine, but he's not like the finest one. And you're like, damn. So we all get it that people will be gazing and looking and mingling in the mind, with the idea of, okay, we all know that people do that. But yeah, do it out loud is the uncomfortable part.
Yeah.
Now, if like, and also, I guess I'm talking in terms of like a partner that I've been with for a couple of years or something like that. I don't know if I would care as much if it was somebody that was a talking stage or like short lived,
Hmm.
or I think
Yeah.
that's a factor as well. So it's just like a little short situation and it didn't really make it out of nowhere. Okay, I really don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because some people get that
But
deep. Like, I went on a date, you can't ever talk to this person. Like,
which is
y'all
crazy
went on
because
one
but
date, y'all don't talk no more.
no,
Like,
right. But
I
then
just,
I just know some personalities. They're like territorial of like you said, just like that. If I even ever spoke to this person, you bet not. And it's like,
which, right. And so I don't
why do
know.
you have the time to even manage that many people? I can't check for that many people. I can't be keeping my eyes peeled back for that many people. I'm not about to do it.
And it
Like,
really
I don't
does
know.
depend on your environment. Like we was talking about, like high school, and for the most people, you have that just immediate mindset. It's just all about what's around you. And then some, I won't say most, but a lot of people, when they become adults, they've been exposed to more. They travel.
Hmm.
They know the world is bigger, and especially now with online, you got
Yeah.
way more access to people anywhere. So, but there are still people that live in real small towns, or they live in a real tight community, and there's not a lot of options. And so I think that plays into it too. But it's an interesting thing. I think just for me, if somebody came to me and was like, "Hey," the scenario I always think of is like we was together for a minute, maybe not 10 years, maybe 3 to 5 years, and
Mm-hmm.
I integrated them into my friend group the way I wanted to, where everybody's Gucci, and they like that's it becomes almost like that's like another homie. She part of the crew,
Right.
and so if y'all locked in, and then something bad happened between us, or whatever, and we go our separate ways, and down the line. It shouldn't be the next day, but down the line, a year or two, it's just like, hey, hey, Terry, to be honest,
Even with somebody that you've been with 3 to 5 years, that's still a little deep. I don't know.
but that's what I'm saying. So if you came to me and was like, hey, look, like she always been cool, we always been vibing. After y'all broke up, whatever, she came back
It's
around.
true. And I
And
think
now
that's kind
we
of where I
talk.
sit
I'd be
too.
like, okay. I'd be like, number one, you got to come to me about it. Don't try to sneak it. It's
Yeah,
a
true.
little bit of permission going on. But then number two, it would have to be like yeah, like that's just a dope person. I think our personalities probably match more than
Right.
y'all did. And then that's something I could probably, stomach. But that's the one situation.
Same. I think that if there's a something of respect, and like I said, at the end of the day, I didn't marry that person. I didn't feel like that was a person I was
Yeah.
going to say I do and spend the rest of my life with. So I don't have no ownership over who or what they who they date. After we're broken up. With it being a close friend of mine, yeah, it's gonna sting. But like if you guys come to me, that means you still at least care about my opinion and my feelings enough
Yeah.
to blah blah blah. And I also know that I have my friends are very honest with me. So um I'm sure that, and if I had asked any of my girlfriends, like, when did you start kicking this off, they'll be honest about when they, started thinking they like this person or whatever. But still, it's
Yeah.
an interesting situation. But like for me, like I said, if I didn't say I do, I don't own that person, and I don't get to say who they date after that. Situations can either make me comfortable or uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not gonna stop them.
it's a real specific situation for me because I'm thinking of a dynamic, like I said, where we all, because we old, so it's not like when you young where it's like, okay, my partner over here, my friends over here. Some people still might be that, but I feel like when we get to this age, people got kids, whatever. You gotta hang out together. You gotta have time spent with the whole circle. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking of that specific situation. If it's a situation where, like, I'm in a different state, and so my homies never really like hung out with her on a daily, and then
Hmm.
y'all ended up together. Hold on now.
Right.
when did y'all when did y'all make time
I got
for that?
questions, seriously. That
Yeah. So
it's so situational. Because I'm also from a small town, my little metropolis town in central Illinois, Chambana. I think the population for both is like 70 and 70, 70K and 70K, with the black population being another small situation. So there are quite a few people in our town that have like the same baby daddies and stuff like that. Whatever, whatever, whatever. It's a
yep.
small town, so I mean, I might be more forgiving in that setting too than in Chicago or something.
Yeah.
It's very situational.
Yeah. It's yeah, there's no, I think, fast guidelines, but like you said, I think the timing of how long y'all been together, the timing of when y'all talk after we break up, like how long we've been broken up, stuff like that matters, but it really is kind of situational. But I will say the only thing that I think is like true for me is I'm not like overkill with it. Like some of these people, like
No.
you said, that are just like absolutely not nothing. I'm like, the pit, like you said, if we only had a date, okay, whatever.
And honestly, I'm gonna feel bad for that. I'm gonna feel bad for that woman because my standards are kind of high. So the fact that you wanting to date somebody who didn't even meet them, sis, if that's where your you know what I'm saying?
And
Is
different
that
strokes for
where
different
your
folks.
tune is at? I guess, my girl. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Speaking of
There was the
timing,
reason he got rid of them, but all right, so hey.
speaking of timing, the other kind of lifelong question everybody talks about in dating: how long do you wait to move in? How long do you wait to sleep with somebody? And I like most things, a lot of traditional standards have changed, and obviously, Abrisha's been married for a long time. So
We
hypothetically,
just yesterday had our 16-year
all
anniversary.
right, long time. Shout out,
The real long time. Who is that?
real long
Oh,
time.
stop. Her name is. Uh, um, you know, all these things are situational. I guess it's how people move as far as the getting busy part. Some people don't care. I when I was the little bit of time I was dating for from the age of 17 and I was married by 19. So the 2 years that I was dating, I was very intentional and of what I wanted. And even that young, I was like, be married. So most of my boyfriends broke up with me because I was keeping that standard of either wanting to be married and not being physically active. So I got the boot a couple of times. It is what it is. People got needs or whatever, and I just wasn't there to meet them. So I set my standard of what I wanted to do. But I guess I didn't. But I also wasn't expecting them to be like with me for like 5 years before we got married or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was dating with the intentions of marriage, and that could happen within 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, whatever. You know what I mean? For my husband, we were together basically talking stages, talked together for like a year, but we were in two different countries. Had we been in the same country, I'm sure we would have moved a little bit faster and we would have made our decisions and then we would have went on about our way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I think realistically, adulthood, I don't know. I never had to do the traditional like dating calendar. I
Well, that's
guess I
what I
don't
was
have
gonna
any
say.
insight on this on that
Well,
department.
I was gonna
Um,
say not to, rain on the anniversary, but hypothetically, if you were to be single
that's what I'm
now,
trying to correlate in my brain. My brain is computing. I'm like, damn. I am a hopeless romantic, so let's see. So I do fall in love pretty easily. So I don't think it'd be immediate. Maybe maybe a couple of months in, maybe the 5 to 6 month range. I don't know, because by then maybe we done went on 4, 5 dates. We know we like each other. When are we announcing that we together? I don't know. I am a hopeless romantic, so I don't think it would be like a
yeah,
long ass time. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I follow the vibe, and I feel like the vibe would probably naturally happen, within time. But I can bring myself pause enough that if it is a little like if I just met you a month ago, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, it's the moment. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? There might be some schmoozing or something like that, but like we not, you know what I'm saying? I can gauge in my head like I just met this person.
yeah,
But if we've been on, quite a few dates, getting in, each other comfortable around each other in that capacity, I don't think it's going to be no long, long time. Now, moving in, I'm married and I could be free to Kahlo right now. I really would love to have two houses with a little breezeway in between it. My husband is so quiet and I'm so loud. Like, we really do need to be, we're in the midst of trying to find a house that has 3 levels so it can have a level in between us, because I like to be loud and he likes to be quiet. He's an avid reader and studier and stuff like that, and I'm a dancer and singer. I love musicals, so I'm trying to be shouting at the top of my lungs. He's trying to read books. So,
yeah, yeah.
moving in, I'm not moving in with nobody until I'm married to him. That's just me personally.
Okay. Period.
Yeah, I
I
need
do
my own
think
space.
I do think the timeline. I mean, I probably say this for every topic, but the hard rules is just doesn't work across the board. Is you got to figure out what works for you. Now, if
Exactly.
you a devout whatever religion and you adhere to those rules and you feel comfortable with it, then that's easy guide for you. If that's not your guide, then you got to go with whatever works for you. So I'll never sit here and say like it has to be XYZ for you. And I think that's where, like I said, a lot of stuff is changing. A lot of people either outly reject
Yeah, and
me
sometimes an
or they,
economy will like get people. I see people shacking up these days, not necessarily because they want to, but because this economy, what people ask, boyfriend, girlfriend,
yeah,
like let's just combine households. What the hell? We both start, struggling. We can't even afford dates because we both trying to pay rent. So but even in that situation, I'm not doing it.
yeah,
I like my space. But I will say that obviously I'm going to spend some time at your space to see how you live in, because I don't want to be moving in with nobody blindly. I need to see how you live. So I
mm,
do want to get comfortable enough in your space so that you live the space how you would, not preparing for me. You know what I mean? Because you know how when you're like dating and stuff, people will they coming over. Let me clean up real quick. I do want to get comfortable enough with you to see what your space looks like when you're just don't give a damn, and see if it matches my standard, because I'm a pretty neat person and I don't want to be with nobody who's got nasty ass habits, because that will be the thing that breaks us up instantly. There's just certain things that I'm just not going to be down with when it comes to cleanliness, and you'll get the boot fast. So I do need to
yeah.
see like how you live. I wouldn't just blindly be like, oh, I'm in love, married, and then just move in with somebody I've never seen their house before or never been there, never, like I need to see how you living first.
Yeah, I'm probably not on your timeline of we got to be married because I wouldn't marry somebody that I didn't live with yet. So, but that bar is way more harder than smashing. Like I smash is smash.
Oh
But
God.
living together,
Typical guy
nah.
answer that. That's a 30-minute hanky panky. That ain't nothing. Ain't nothing too
But
serious.
but I do think people have to realize when it comes to doing the do. Uh, there's so much more information I think people are learning, but people have to also understand that sexuality is not just gender preference. There is mental preference too. So you can be a
hmm
demisexual. You can be what's that other one?
One of our great
Sapio.
friends is a demisexual. She's been
Mm,
single for 8,000 years because she's like, I need to know you before,
yeah.
before, you know, I've been
And,
married 16 years. She's been single the whole time because she just needs to know you well enough,
and
and just can't get there because people are like Terry, who like, hey, what's going on, girl? You ain't going
no,
on. All right, bye.
I'm educated enough to know that everybody flows on different currents
Yeah,
and so,
I'm
but
messing
yeah,
with you.
but a lot of people they get beat by those gender stereotypes. You got guys that probably might be demi and they think they supposed to be promiscuous, or they think they have to hit quick because
Yeah,
friends gonna make fun of them. And you got guys that be with women who might be sapio. She really is into intellect, and you think she trying to play you when really she just needs that connection to.
yeah,
And so people need to know themselves, and they need to understand like what's out there, because you can't just treat everybody like, okay, no, if she not doing this or if he not doing this, it's because of this or XYZ. It might just be
yeah.
their
We
natural
love to create
preference.
boxes. Yeah, so many boxes. Get to know the person. That's the whole point of dating. That's what I don't understand about, like, I haven't had to really be in like modern day dating culture. But even when I hear my girlfriends like relaying their dates back to me about, oh yeah, I went on a date, well, I'm like, well, what do you guys talk about? What do you guys, There's always this baseline, but I'm like, you guys aren't talking about shit to get to know each other. Like these are, like, I don't know. I feel like people just out here wasting time. I was asking
Yeah.
Jamalis his blood type and stuff, or like if he had the sickle cell trait. That nigga had to go to the doctor to see if he had the sickle cell trait. got the sickle cell trait. I'm not trying to get too serious with you if we might have to have a child with anemia, and that's going to be really hard. So, I was over
Hey,
here. I don't care about your favorite color. I can figure that out later. Like, how are you when you mad? You know, what type of person? You know, that's the type of stuff I'm asking.
Bree should begin to
I
the
don't care
question.
about your favorite movie. When is that going to help me?
I
Dating is
need to
supposed to
know.
be about getting to know the person, and if they're compatible with you, like, what's your foundation for X, Y, and Z? Like, are you like we just said? Is religion your foundation? Is your family, your morals your foundation? Like, who said that? You know, morally, where do you stand? What's your idea about X, Y, and Z? What's your views on this and that? That's what I want to know. That's
You
what
could
I'm
tell
listening
Bree should
for.
marry. You could tell she's been married. Though
But this is
those,
that was still 19-year-old dumb as hell me. Still had at least like
but you have
ask the real
very
questions.
you have very clear intentions though on what
That's
you
true.
was going to get
Mhm.
out of it. I think if
That's true.
somebody asked me that, I'm not gonna lie. We probably that's the last date. I'm like, oh, we getting intense. But I do like intense questions. But
I just hate
it's
boring ask. Oh, so what you like to do for fun? Oh, I go hiking and biking a little bit. You do a little Zumba class.
I
The fuck is
mean,
that gonna help that nigga? That's not gonna help him.
you don't know them though. You gotta learn.
Hmm.
See, yeah. Brisha, if she had to start over, it's gonna be a problem.
If I
she,
say that time and time again, if I had to be in today's dating market, I would be like the rest of my girlfriends. I would be habitually single. I would be single as hell and just okay with that. I would be okay with the fact that I would be just single as fuck. Because the dating culture is so weird, and when we were younger, it's very flingy, and then we went for the for tat era, and now we're in the antisocial era where nobody knows how to talk to each other. I would be so damn single it'll hurt, because I'm not
but
dealing with none of it. I'm a very
well,
tolerant person to a lot of stuff.
the culture now is super like explicitly transactional. Like,
I know.
obviously, relationships, love, all that was transactional always, but it wasn't explicit. I don't think it was more implied, the kind of the quiet part, which is why it lasted so long. But now it's very outwardly like this is transactional, and I think that is also where people get tripped up with the how long that you wait to have sex, because, like you said, it should be a vibe when you feel comfortable, y'all ready. But a lot of people attach so much other stuff to sex, like, girl, I took you
Hmm.
out to such and such. What you mean we not? like they thought
Right.
that that's how it is. Like,
And
and
that discussion just like opened so many doors, because very transactional, and a lot of, and I feel bad for guys, because it's true, there are women who kind of just go on dates just to have fun and go out to eat and stuff like that. And but there's also this conversation of like, you don't even, you wouldn't even be going to these places if it wasn't for the dates. And I'm like, pause, brother, man. What I think that a lot of the dating culture that men haven't picked up yet still is that women, we date our friends, and the tabs that men consider to be a high tab for a date, or a night out, or just to get to know somebody, women do that monthly, maybe 3 times a month. And we fight over our bills with our friends, and we're like, girl, I got it this time. We cover the whole table, the type of stuff that, there's quite a few of us that operate that way. We go to brunch or whatever. I got it. It's just your birthday. Don't worry about it. Whatever it is. So the inner culture that women are, I don't think that men are like that with their friends as much as women are. So women don't perceive that men are taking them on these, like, for men, it's like, this is an explicit thing. Like, I'm about to spend some real money, and, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to get to know her. I want to impress her. We don't perceive it that way. So then when it doesn't go well, or, you guys don't vibe, or she realizes you're kind of boring, or whatever happens and it didn't pan out for that brother, it's like, oh, she used me to, eat at Ruth's Chris or whoever, and it's like, no, she just didn't vibe with you. But it's always that, like, these women just using us for dinner dates and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, do you know how much women spend, how we spend our money? These dates are not that expensive to us. These women are spending hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars just for their hair. You think she worried about that bill that's $200 on that table? She is not.
Some
So
of them
it's
are.
just like the, huh?
Some of them are.
Well,
Some of them are
I'm
using people. Yeah.
I said that at the top of my statement. There
Yeah.
are some
Yeah.
people women who are just bored and are just out here dating just because. But I don't think that that's the most common. Because what I don't think is what men don't pick up in the dating culture is how much women date their friends, and so we don't perceive it that way. That's why they don't understand that conversation when they're saying, "Oh, you're getting used for such and such," and it's like that date we went on. I done did that 4 times this month already. You know, with my girls, like. I'm not understanding what the problem is. So I wish that there was some more clarity in the dating culture about even just how people operate in social atmospheres to see what that person's norm is. Because long story short, what I'm trying to say is that there are men who obviously, got it and go out and have a good time with their homies and stuff like that too. But I want more people to date within their social parameters too, I guess. If that makes any sense.
You mean in terms of what they're comfortable?
Exactly. Your comfort levels with spending money. You need to. That's a big thing, and I need for more people to realize that that's a compatibility thing too, because I think nobody wants to be accused of being a person using somebody for dates, and then 2, nobody also wants to be viewed as lowly because he can't meet whatever social parameter you have set for your dating life. I don't know.
I think like as always, social media messed up a lot of things because you're dating, not everybody, but a lot of people's dating influence is informed by their environment. So when you talking to these quote unquote baddies online, a lot of times they're from cities and places where that's normal to them, and that's what I'm understanding, because I've never lived anywhere but Illinois. I met people from other places, and I've never had a desire to go to some of these places like Vegas and all that. But if you know people that are there, like Houston, Atlanta, whatever, that tricking culture, it's a culture. It ain't like, so people grow up around that, and that's what they expect. Even Chicago, you talk to a person, you talking to a girl that's from Chicago versus a girl that's from Southern Illinois, it's going to be two different
completely
things.
Different, yeah.
And it's not that it's even her philosophy, it's just what she grew up around. If you grew up around seeing all these old head steppers tricking off on women all the time, then that's going to be normalized to you. Whereas if you talk to a girl from Southern Illinois, you'd be like, let's go to Applebee's. She'd be like, oh, excited. So
these are the facts.
You got to understand that. But since we have social media, people are talking to all these other people from areas that they're not familiar with, and they don't understand how they get down.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I want more people to pay attention to that. Y'all out here dating because you guys now have access to different people from different environments, and y'all are not putting 2 and 2 together about the social culture of where they are. You need to be aware of that. Because,
like, if I jumped on right now on the IG, which I don't have, even though Abrisha keeps sending me stuff from Instagram. But anyway, so
all those apps are owned by the same people. You should still be able to open it.
Nah, man, I don't do it. But anyway, if I was to get on Instagram right now, find somebody that's considered a baddie, whatever, pop up on, and message, okay, I'm in Atlanta. All right, I'm about to fly out to Atlanta for a date, whatever. I would not have any clue about what her standards are or what that whole thing is supposed to look like, because that ain't my life. I don't know nothing about that, and people don't get that. They really pop up on people because they saw them looking good online. They pop up on them in
Yeah.
real life, and you are from two completely different worlds, and
It's
your
true. I just wish people had
standards are
more
different.
social self-awareness because I don't know. Because like you just said, me, I would know that obviously somebody from the city is going to have a different point of view than like my little small town view or you
Yeah,
know, just or that. I just more, yeah, I just wish more people were cognizant to it, and then we wouldn't have so many people bitching and moaning about, you know. I feel like a lot of the dating topics that we see where there's like the, you know, man versus woman, woman versus man, is because these people who are unevenly yoked keep trying to date each other and causing
yeah,
unnecessary friction, and then labeling it all men or women, or you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Date inside your tax bracket, date inside your social parameters, like, you know, date inside of your religious philosophy. Please, like the fact that y'all just out here in the wilderness, you know, like you can't be a good Christian girl and then be out on Tinder and then be like, oh, these men are just want my goodies and they don't know the Lord and you know what I'm saying? Like
not my
you
goodies.
that makes no sense. You guys have to stop doing this stuff.
Yeah, I just
Oh
like I
man, just
said,
want your deal. Like that's not true. You are
from what
operating in the wrong means to find whoever you're looking for.
from what I'm learning, I just it's a lot of people being influenced by social media and what they see,
Yeah.
and they think that's what is for them, or they feel pressured to be like that's what I have to do. And I'm just because me, I would never want to shut down somebody saying, hey, I connected with somebody that's in a whole different state, I want to go see them. Sure, yeah, we have access across the world now. I'm not saying don't do it, but do it with some intention and some, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, so awareness of what this person is. Like you said, if you a devout Christian, don't get flown out by a brother in Miami thinking like he on a different time than you.
A completely different time. I need you to understand that. You
And
know what I'm
so just
saying? This
know
ain't
what
no
you getting
Troy and,
into.
and Sheila. You know, up at they ain't nobody going up the mountain and say they marriage. This is completely different territory. I need
People
y'all to
do a lot.
understand.
They do a lot of stuff for the gram. A lot of people just want the picture to flex, and it just be
That just
like, bro,
reminded me, Carlos Miller. I think I sent you this clip too when he was talking about somehow he was gonna get he said everybody's a baddie now. Everybody got the little bust down and the eyebrows and the this and the makeup and the that and whatever, the bodysuit, whoever. And he said he gonna go get him an ugly girl because that's the he said, Thompson, they don't make these models like that no more. He was like everybody, it was just like true. In essence, it's like you said, that influence of like social media and online culture of like beauty standards. And I will say, for the first time, especially amongst like Black folks, this is the most homogenous we've ever been as far as like standards of look. We used to like really relish in uniqueness, and you know there was like there were themes, but like it was never like this homogenized of like, how does everybody have the same eyebrow shape and the same bust down wig and the same, you know, this and the same. It's crazy. So the fact that he was talking about just how a regular plain Jane now is going to be the hot thing to have because like everybody just looks the same. Like all the women just look the same because of the culture of influence of like what the beauty standards are for Black women right now. And
yeah,
you know, he was joking, but I'm like, honestly, yeah, we do see
nah,
that because we see the women who
um,
marry. If y'all see my ass out in the wilderness, I don't look like shit most of the time. I dress up every now and again. You know, I do my little ones and twos every now and again. But they be like, how the hell she end up married? Genuine, you know, like you're just being genuine, minding my business, not feeling like I had to keep up with Joneses.
mind
You
my
know what I'm
business. Yep.
saying?
Yeah, it's about
Not
connection.
having to keep up with the Joneses and not feeling like you said, not being overly influenced by, you know, what to expect from my partners. I was very intentional about what I wanted, not what society told me that I should want from out of my
Exactly.
relationship. I was asking for what I wanted and, you know, not
I
what society
just
said I should.
I just like I'm always hearing people tell me like, "Oh, you so young, you so young," and I get it in the grand scheme of things, but I feel old as hell. So I feel like we big grown. So the idea, I wouldn't even know what all this is about because I'm at the age where all this is going on, and I'm not on IG or not TikTok, so I don't be knowing what's going on. I hear it through the grapevine, through skits or jokes, but
Yeah.
I feel like for me, and I'm not going to knock you if you 35, 40, 50 and you out here outside, cool, just not for me. Because ain't no world where I'm tricking off nothing. And I ain't, it's not happening. And I'm not trying to be in crowded places like Atlanta and Houston and
Mm-mm.
Vegas and wherever else y'all
Atlanta gives
be
me
at.
the heebie-jeebies. I only go down there for specific events. I would never just be down in Atlanta. I'm sorry, Atlanta. Y'all be having a lot going on.
And I just
Mm-mm.
heard about is it Ghana? What they call like Daddy Week or some weekend?
Oh, Dirty December?
Or is it Daddy December or something like that?
Yeah, Dirty December. That's basically when like a lot of the West African immigrants return home. It's like because here in America we got all those like breaks and holiday seasons, so it's like
Oh
easier
yeah,
to take
yeah,
off
yeah.
work. It's easy to take off work, and it's well, it's not cheaper no more because now so many people go home. But it used to be like the cheapest time to go back.
Hmm.
So now it's like a whole culture though. So people literally, that's when like all the clubs is juking and like everybody goes back
Yeah.
home and blah 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 blah. It's crazy.
I just
Yeah.
found out about like a lot of American women go over there to
Yeah, because it's becoming
to
like a
trick
culture.
them.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
cultural thing. But it's
And
true because yeah, all the diaspora are basically coming back home and like showing their worth of like what they've been successfully able to do back in the States or wherever they're coming
yeah,
from, Canada or wherever. And so yeah, they spitting it. They in the
it's I
club throwing up the
can't.
dollars. They buying sections. They.
Yeah, I can't. So that's
Mhm.
just I mean, to each their own, but for me it'd
But
be
yeah,
hard to get that perspective, but like you said, at the end of the day, that's why like I don't feel, and I know how people talk about the dating pool. Maybe because I'm not like super trying to get married or nothing, but I don't feel the dating pool is that bad. And the worst part about it for me is where I live, because like middle central Illinois. But I
you
feel
with the
like
palm people.
once I finally get me back to a city, even if I went back to Chicago, I feel like I would do just fine, to be honest with you, because I don't, I feel like it's such a high school thing to be like, dang, this girl is fine, but we don't match at all with any other thing, but I still gotta get her. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
If like if a girl is like, if I meet a woman and she like, yeah, you gotta take me on this date and spend at least this much. Okay, we not of the same mindset. Deuces. Like it's not that tough.
hmm
Like keep it moving. But some people get fixated on like chasing, or I don't know what they trying to do, but I'm like, that's not my mindset. So the dating pool don't be bad for me because I'm like, I don't know. I think I just met so many people that I know
Yeah.
that it's endless types of possibilities out
I
there.
think that at least from our sector of like we're 35, so all of our friends are in the 34 to 36 range or whatever. And what I hear mostly is that a lot of our friends are at that point where they're wanting to kind of develop a life. Well, they've had their fun. They were young and did their thing, and now they're moving into wanting to do, move into parenthood or home ownership or marriage life and stuff like that. And what I'm seeing, the unevenly yoked of why a lot of women feel like the dating pool is um hard is not necessarily that they're not finding like decent suitors as far as like dates and stuff, but a lot of men are kind of still in a they're still in the non-committal stage, like they just want to have fun or just vibe. They're not
Yeah,
trying to settle down or anything. So it's a unevenness in where women, black women in our middle ages basically are wanting to accomplish at this age, and we still have a lot of our men our age who are like still, And the crazy thing about it is it's not even just our age. We still have it's us plus these niggas who's all the way up until their 50s who are still like, no, I'm not trying to settle down. That ain't really my thing. And so that makes it so a lot of women are like, well, shit, you know.
Yeah.
We got two generations of men who are like, that's not my thing. And you have two generations of women who are like, that is our thing. And so everyone just stays single because women are kind of wanting to engage in traditional style families, and men are like, nah. And
Yeah, we
so they
outside.
go on the dates, they realize that they're unmatched in those departments, and they just, okay, let's call it. Go on another date, realize it's unmatched in that department. Okay, well, let's call it. Go on another date. And at some point, you just like, fuck it, I'm not doing this anymore. And so they just stay single.
Yeah, and my statement was definitely from the side of people who are looking for women. Because I mean, at the end of the day, the numbers is just it is what it is. So that's part of it too. So I know you probably, depending on where you live, you probably won't have as many options looking for a man that if you meet a man and y'all not on the same type of time, maybe you probably won't have as many options trying to find somebody else.
Yeah,
But
so I just see a lot of people on both sides just settling to stay single, you know.
which I just, yeah, I think if you because you're right, we do got a lot of friends, and I know a lot of people who are, they've done that work, they know what they want, they know their standards, and so it's not like they're chasing something that they
Hmm.
don't match. It's just they're not finding somebody that matches what type of time they on. So
Hmm.
you know, it's different. All right, that's it, we're done. Come back next episode.